Hi there, it's Erin from EB Mixed Media. Today I'm going to be playing with some of the papers that I made the other day using all of the background stamps in my Fabulous Florals stamp collection that you can get at Joggles. So I thought I would play with those and do something with those on a journal page. And then as a focal point, I was going to make this summer bloom. And I'm starting to mess around with metallics. So I've got some metallic paint here, and I was going to try to do something with this floral. These florals are available exclusively at joggles.com, and the link is below. And I'll put the link in below to the video on how I made these papers in case you haven't seen that as well. So you'll want to go back and watch that if you do decide you want to make this page. Anyway, let's get started. I've got a piece of mixed media paper here, and I have my black archival ink from Ranger, which is acid-free and permanent and waterproof. So when we paint on the floral, the ink won't run or smear. I'm going to go ahead and put my floral onto my larger stamp block, which as you can see is getting a lot of use these days. Let's ink it up really well. There we go. And now I'll take my stem. And I want my stem to be longer on this one, so I'm going to do it again. And I'm just going to kind of line it up. And what's nice about these stamps is they're meant to look hand-drawn. And so even though this seems a little bit wonky, we can make it make sense by filling in with the pen. And what I do is, to explain why there's this black here, I add some black elsewhere. And so it all makes sense. Okay. And then we'll take our leaf, and we can also add the leaf right at that juncture, and that will also help to kind of explain it. I've got my palette here with all of my metallic colors, and when I went to the craft paint area of the craft store, there's a lot of different sections of metallic paint. I was merely looking at the colors, and so I didn't pay attention. This one says it's for enamel. This one says multi-surface. This is a different brand even. These are Folk Art, and this one is Craft Smart. So I don't think it matters when we're painting on paper. So I've got champagne, gold. This is fire opal, and this is pink tourmaline. Okay, my plan here is to go really light with these and use quite a bit of water, almost as if it's a watercolor. And I can always build up more color if I decide that I want it. I'm gonna start with this fire opal and get it kind of wet. And I'm just gonna start here. And I hope, I haven't worked with metallics a lot, so I hope that adding the water isn't gonna take away from the metallic effect, but it could, I don't know. And notice I cleaned my brush off and I did not dip it back in the paint. So I am just stretching the color out from the base. And notice I went over the edge there, not to worry. I'm gonna go back in and pick up a little more color and go darker in the center. And I'm gonna go darker here at the base. I think that looks really pretty. I can't tell if it's metallic anymore. We'll have to see what happens when it dries. I want to add a tiny, tiny bit of this pink. Not too much. Just a hint. That's too little. Oh, I like that effect. I'll be really curious to see if there's no shimmer since they've been watered down. I'm adding more of the fire opal, kind of orangey color. And I don't have as much water now, but there's water on the page. And this isn't watercolor paper, so it's not going to be able to take as much water as a watercolor paper would. So I have to be careful of that. Okay, I'm going to dry that and see how it looks. That's pretty, and I do think there's still a shimmer and shine to it. Just to oomph it up a tad, though, I'm going to add a little bit more without the water. I mean, there's some water in my brush, but it's definitely less. I was trying to decide if I wanted to use this gold, but I don't quite know how I would. I'm just getting a tiny, tiny bit on my brush. And sort of, I don't like that. No. That adds even more shimmer, which is kind of pretty. Okay, I think I'm going to leave well enough alone with that. I'm going to hit it with the dryer again. So going back in after I dried it and adding just a bit of paint without as much water really did give it a shimmer effect, and it looks really pretty. I am debating about whether I want to paint the stem, and I can't seem to make up my mind. I think I'm going to leave it. Okay, so I just want to fix a couple spots here where my stamp sort of wasn't inked enough or something. Just go over that. And then where we got a little heavier with the paint and that sort of dulled the stamp, we could go over that a bit. It's not really necessary. It looks okay. But that is what's nice about those looking kind of hand-drawn, is you can, they've got a lot of flexibility to them, and you can sort of play with them and add some lines without it looking odd. In fact, people aren't even going to notice that that wasn't the original stamp. And then since we're on the metallic shimmer train, I'm going to make these gold because they have to be, right? Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay. I need to cut this out. My flower's all cut out now, and you can see where I went over the edges a little bit here and there, or I didn't go all the way to the edges. I like that look. If you want to be a little more careful, or if it really bothers you, you could go in with a white pen or Posca pen and cover that up like so. Okay. All right, so this is going to be my focal point on my page, and I have my papers here, and I'm simply going to tear these, and I'm going to basically stripe across the page or down the page, and the simplicity of this page is that it really allows your papers to shine and to be seen. So this page was made in a different video than the one where I made all of these. This was made in, I did a journal page with a daisy, and I made this background paper and stamped the daisy onto it. So this was left over from that. So if you want to see how that was made, it's using a brayer, and it's very similar to the technique we used in this other video as well. So I can link all those videos down in the descriptions. So I'm trying to just get a really tiny edge of this so that I save the bulk of the paper. But I love the look of the torn edge. I think that's important for this look that I'm going for. So there's that. This was a fun page made from just all the stamped words that are in the Fabulous Florals set, the sentiments. This was a metallic as well, so that's going to look nice, I think. And you'll want to vary the lengths and widths a bit. My papers are all torn now. It's just a matter now of arranging these in a fashion and a manner that's pleasing to the eye.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now.
So I think I have a general idea of my placement. So I'm gonna just start gluing these down. I'm just gonna use my Yoo-Hoo glue stick and glue these down, and we'll see how it goes.
Wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Turn this room, turn it to an ocean. Let me float around. Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. You and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. You and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. We can do nothing.
Our papers are all glued down now. A few little spots here to fix. And I want to have a sentiment. There is one included in all of the Fabulous Florals stamps, and this one says gratitude. This is a book page. At the front of the book, there's often a page with nothing on it, and I like to keep those. Or say the end of a chapter, there might only be a few lines on the, or one paragraph on the page, and then a lot of blank space at the bottom. So I try to save those. They're great to put your sentiments on. There we go. And I'm going to cut that. I was just sitting there debating about whether I wanted to tear it, but I think cutting it and having a straight edge juxtaposed to all of the torn edges is going to make it stand out a little bit. The other thing I like to do to make it stand out is to use my Ranger Distress Oxide in Vintage Photo and just add that to the page around the edges, and even getting it on the page to make the book page look even older than it is. I don't actually think this is a particularly old book, but that looks nice. All right, so I'm gonna wanna I think I want my floral to go kind of here and my sentiment to land probably there. But before I do that, I want to add some splatters. And I don't want to freak anyone out, but I'm gonna do black. I think this page is really pretty, and I think it needs a little bit of contrast. I'm just looking at the page, actually. As I was looking for my fan brush, I found this on the floor, and I want to conclude it. I think we need it, that third piece right there. Yeah, that's perfect. Black, black, black. Love that. All right, where's my fan brush? So I'll dip a little bit of water. And here we go. Ready? I did not want that to happen. I'm not going to touch it. I've found in the past when you try to fix it, it looks worse. So we're just going to leave it and let it dry. And it's going to be a beautiful part of our page. Right? Right. Alternatively, we can do that. I love that about mixed media and art journaling. I love the troubleshooting. And now I'm feeling like I need something up here maybe. This looks kind of, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it now. But what I was saying is what I love about mixed media is the whole concept of troubleshooting and going with the flow and trying to fix the mistakes and figure out a solution when something doesn't go the way you kind of wanted it to go. And I sometimes think it's those imperfections that in the end make a better page and a better piece. By putting this one on, I think I have almost every paper on here 3 times, which is sort of nice. Okay, and now we're going to add our floral. We've got our journal done. Look, looks like I got some ink on the corner there. I'm not going to mess with it. I found when I try to fix things, they only look worse. I'm just going to leave it. It was meant to be. So there's our journal page. And the flower again is the Summer Bloom from Fabulous Florals, available at Joggles. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gave you some inspiration for how to showcase your beautiful painted papers in your journals. And I will be back with some more inspiration in the near future, I hope. In the meantime, you can find me on Instagram. I'm at EB Mixed Media. That's EB_Mixed Media. Thanks, everyone. Bye.